Welcome, everybody. Hello. My name's Matt.
I'm Jeff.
This is Jeff. Best friends since maybe 6th grade, somewhere around there.
We decided 6th-ish grade.
Somewhere around there. And we know like a lot of you guys in the comments and stuff have been saying like you guys should do a podcast together. Like you haven't really hung out much in the last 20 years. We miss you.
The comments of the pre-podcast comments.
Like, yeah, a lot of the lunchroom ladies from East Middle School. Been like, you guys barely hang out anymore.
Sending emails. Good God.
How
email
are you guys
blasting.
doing?
Yep.
Yeah. How's that ice cream scoop mashed potatoes treating you these days?
And I said, I didn't even buy lunch. That makes 0 sense to me. I brought a brown paper bag. I don't know you.
I think, in middle school, I think bringing your lunch was cool. Like, we had, there was different ebbs and flows of when bringing lunch or buying lunch was cool. I feel like in the mid-90s, bringing your lunch was definitely the vibe.
That's true. Now, I don't know when I grew out. Certainly middle school, I think, right. Bringing your lunch was still cool. Buying lunch was, had a negative stigma to it. But regardless of, you had to be brown bagging it. Like you no longer could you have a lunch pail. Now that being said, I will say that you could have a lunch bag that was reusable. That was actually pretty cool. But you couldn't have a pail anymore. It had to be shapeable. It could no longer be a box.
Now look at us. We've grown up. We're 30-somethings, technically.
For a little while.
Just a hair under 40. And now retro lunch pail. I mean, if I had a Transformers lunchbox, everybody think I'm cool as shit.
Oh, it's so
true.
How
we've grown. It'd be expensive. It'd be like $100.
I know, because then it's like, oh, your collector's item. I'm like, no, I just like Optimus Prime. I don't understand.
No,
they're like, oh,
this is functional.
You're carrying this ironically. Am I?
Yeah. I need this.
Yes, that's what's happening because it has an apple in it.
You know the tuna fish at the cafeteria isn't as good as my wife's. So Jeff, I'm not married.
Neither am I.
Okay, so we need to catch up on things like that. So we don't even. I mean, I
guess.
Oh,
good. Let me write that down.
Presumably,
not married.
Presumably, we're gonna catch up. This pod, right now called Strangely Familiar. That's the leader in the clubhouse. How do we like the flow? Do we like it, users? All you chatters.
Yeah, we need the input. We've been throwing around some names. A lot of them we're overanalyzing. We've overanalyzed it already to this point. What flows well, what syllables work well next to each other.
We've already dumped $1,000 into T-shirts.
It was a really bad idea. We have done this in a poor manner. We spent a lot on marketing.
Yep. With every creative venture, what you need first is a business card. You can't be a man about town without having a business card with whatever your hobby is. You got to have that.
Right. Right. Who's supposed to take you seriously with an idea, with a solid idea?
Yeah, occasional podcaster. There we go. No way. You do a podcast? Occasionally. Yeah. enough to get a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, strangely familiar. So the conceit is, I guess, you last week were like, hey, I want to do a podcast. I have experience and exposure to podcasting in my history, and I'm down. I love doing it. We're like, what do we do? How about this? Let's talk about, I don't know, you and me, since we've lived apart from each other for almost 20 years. We've probably seen each other no more than 5 times in the 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like face to face.
Talk literally less than a handful of times.
Yeah, literally less than 10 times seen each other face to face. And if you remove 13 years of fantasy football banter in a group
chat, that's
the
basis of our relationship.
Then we maybe have 3 other conversations other than those meetups.
Most of our conversations have been Venmo transactions between each other.
Right. Maybe a football and an eggplant with a $60 transaction.
Oh yeah, that was a good year. But it's, I think, so we want to really just get to know each other in front of people. Again.
Yeah.
That's kind of the deal. Like, how do you refriend? Some of the names, I don't know, not even really names we were pitching, but it is like Friends 2.0, refriending. How do you catch up on 20 years with somebody that you haven't really been connected with. But I don't feel like there's a
Right.
disconnect between us. Like I always felt like if we ever met up or hung out, it would have just like picked up like that. It's not like there was something that we didn't have a fight. We didn't,
Right.
You know, like
We didn't have the
a
classic
break up
fallout.
with the same girl or something like that. Or
Right.
anything like
Nothing
that.
happened. Just life kind
Just
of
nothing
happened.
happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Just yeah. Unfortunately, literally nothing happened.
And it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, we
You know,
figure
you
we
just
figure
grow up
that
getting
we figure that a lot of you guys maybe have had similar situations, whether it be with best friends, close friends, or any type of friend where you're just like, oh, I haven't talked to that person in a while. I wonder why. And then you go, yeah, there is no reason why.
Yeah. So the elevator pitch of our friendship, grew up in upstate New York, central New York, a little town called Auburn, New York. Kind of just, small. I mean, it would remind you of like a Midwest town, just
Yeah.
a small city. Our main export is prisoners and crows.
Or is that our main
Like,
import?
or
Is
import, yeah,
prisoners?
that's true. But we grew up, like, if you go to the State Fair of New York, the only mention of Auburn is in maximum security prisons and being like one of the first
That's
ones
correct.
in the state.
That's correct.
Like we had room. I mean, I think we're on National Geographic for how many crows there are.
Right, another
Ravens.
real solid mention. Like that first came into play, that National Geographic episode, I feel was
Yeah.
in around 2000, and it's like, wow, we made it. Here it is,
But it's
baby.
definitely it's one of those towns where people hold on to that. Like that's the
Absolute-
badge of honor.
That's
Yeah.
the problem, right? That's
Yeah.
the real
Yeah.
problem is that our town's like, we did it, baby.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
right, Crow City, USA.
Auburn. Now, what is that? I never heard of that. Oh, you never heard of the crow capital of the world?
Right.
That's weird. What, the first town to use the electric chair in a prison?
Right.
Hmm.
You're clearly
I'm
no
surprised I went under your
ornithologist,
radar.
clown.
Yeah. Met in middle school, and ostensibly, after high school graduation, went to different colleges. I moved away. You moved away. We lived in different cities forever.
Yeah,
And
different states,
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah, all of it. So we got a lot of catching up to do.
A bit. So we'd like to roll this out and let everyone experience this joyous, awkward, weird concept. Certainly, and just come along for the ride. There's no promises. We have a very loose idea of how this is all going to roll, and we think that's the best way because you don't plan on this. You don't plan on this type of reunion, so you have to go, hey, I wonder how this is going to roll. So it's kind of appropriate.
It'll evolve over time. I think we have like different segments that we want to put in to get to know each other, whether it's different types of questions, little games, little conversation dice. Spoiler. There's your finale, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Let's get into, I talked about how we met. Maybe let's start off, we could do with every episode, maybe a little bit of the history, maybe something that'll remind us. I got to tell you, I'm shit for remembering stuff from a long time ago.
I have learned
I
that
can take a memory, yeah.
Yeah, I've learned in the last 5 years, my memory has taken a steep plummet.
Yeah.
I used to be fantastic at remembering stuff, and it has gotten really, really sketchy.
Used to remember so many presidents and actors' names, and now it's like nothing.
Dude, 6 Degrees is Kevin Bacon. I used to just play 6 Degrees of one actor to another, and like play with people just for something to do, like because it involves nothing needed in hands or anything like that. I used to be great at it. Can't do it. I'm so slow now, and just man, it's depressing.
So let's help each other remember.
Okay.
Thinking of a story. So we met in middle school, 6th grade, came from different elementary schools, sat at the same lunch table. I remember that year, kind of the crux of our relationship was probably at lunch, usually dares about putting food together from people's lunches to kind of round it back to that. And then whatever people didn't eat, trying to flush it down the boys' bathroom.
That's correct.
That was right
Also
outside the
true.
cafeteria. Right
Also
after that.
true.
So apples, we probably flooded the toilet.
We were
way too much.
in 6th grade band together.
Band,
that
yep.
helped. Because I think
Trumpet.
band saxophone. At the time, I believe band might have been right before lunch, 6th grade band, but I could be wrong. Again, that might be making that up, but I'm pretty sure we had it in like 5th period right before lunch.
So, could you believe band is a class? I mean, it's awesome. It's like the best class because most of the time you're sitting there with a bunch of other instruments and sections, and conductor or the band teacher is just trying to get different sections. So most of the time you're just sitting there like talking to your friends or hanging out. You're just with an instrument on your lap. Then you all try to play together, and it's usually real bad.
Yeah, it
barely comes together.
Terrible.
For the Christmas concert.
Big shout out to the parents who acted like they're like, that was really good, and you're like, awesome. And then like if you see a video of it, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? I was horrible.
It probably is entertaining.
That's true.
Again, don't have kids. Just so you know, don't have kids.
0 kids on my end too.
But that's probably like going to like a Little League game, something like that. Just watching kids being kids or something.
Yeah.
There's got to be entertainment value. Like maybe sneak in a little flask or something to a 6th grade band.
But in band, no one wins. Usually in like Little League, someone's actually winning. Someone walks off a winner. Whereas we all walked off losers, and the rest.
Like my middle school activities to end in somebody winning and somebody crying. So maybe chorus could work out for that.
Okay.
And then after 6th grade, I think the real glue that bound us together was before 7th grade. I think the summer between my parents. I had a major business going on where I mowed lawns around the city for my grandma, my grandma's friend, the neighbor of my grandma's friend. I had a really sexy Rolodex of clients that I was making anywhere from $5 to $15 per hour.
Sick money.
Lawns. I was collecting CDs like they were hotcakes.
Man.
I wasted so much money on physical media in those days.
Absolutely, man. Like,
I wish I do.
Because I like guilty as charged. Like you buy a CD, you bought it for that song you heard on the radio, maybe 2, and then the problem was like back then. It's not like, well, then I discovered a lot of other great songs by that band. No, I'd buy that CD and listen to those 2 songs. It makes no sense when the radio was doing that for me for free.
Nothing like a hot mixtape.
That's true. Mixtapes, absolutely. And it was a lot. Maybe that's what it was. It was like you could make a mixtape, and I didn't have the patience to do it off the radio like some kids did. So, like, I'd put in a CD. I'd buy CDs to make mixtapes. I went backwards in technology. Yeah. That'd be like, I'm going to buy these DVDs. Why? So I can put them on VHS.
Yep. So that my major business required professional development, training, and I guess, I don't know if it's a New York State thing, but I needed a license. So I went to this lawn-mowing course, and I think my dad signed it up for me or whatever. And for me, the big deal is like, it said on there like you get a free baseball hat or something with it too. So I was going, like, fuck yeah, let's go. New York Yankees hat, let's go. We're going to get a free baseball hat. I show up. Not only is it not a baseball hat, it literally was a red and white hat that said "Knowing Mowing," the label of the course on it.
Yeah, think of like a trucker hat, but this is years before anyone knew what an Ashton Kutcher was.
Yeah, worst quality. Like the kind of hat that you get spray painted at the fair.
Absolutely.
Like one of those. Like very bulbous.
We could only be so lucky to have spray painting involved on that.
But who's sitting to my left? One Mr. Jeff right
there.
You bet. Like, no way, you're doing this too?
Out of like 10 people in the city of Auburn signing up for this course.
Yeah. And I'm assuming we bonded. I don't even remember kind of how that thing went down. I don't remember what we learned except to go up and down hills with the lawnmower. I
do remember, though, like, talk about an awful culmination of time spent is like we sat in probably, all right, if our city had 4 fire halls, we sat in the one that I don't even know if it harbored an ambulance or fire truck. Like it was this tiny little garage.
One vehicle.
Right. And like there was metal chairs and we listened to someone talk for like 3 hours. And the culmination at the end was we each got to take like a 25-foot strip of grass.
That's right.
At the
like
firehouse. Right. To just mow. Not mow a lawn. Or anything. It was like run a stripe of maybe 25 feet. And it was like, you did it. Look, you would have never
straight.
Yeah, you would have never been able to do this if it wasn't for this course. Even though everyone had already mowed. This was no one's first time using a mower.
Yeah, looking back, it was really just a way for the fire department to get their lawn mowed for free.
And the city to make money. We paid. I'm pretty sure our parents or something, someone paid for this. There was no way this was free because we got a cap.
Yeah, got a cap, not a baseball hat.
No, a cap.
A cap. And from there, it was history from band concerts, video games,
Absolutely.
school trips.
All good
A lot of
things.
well, I mean, we're gonna dissect the friendship as we go along, but that's kind of where it started for us. Moving to now, where a lot's happened after graduation. We went to different schools. I went to Colgate University. I did a study abroad in Russia. My first jobs was in Washington D.C. after graduation. Lived there for a couple of years. Then not a big deal, met a girl. Don't worry about it. And moved down to Austin, Texas. With her. Broke up after like 2 years, but didn't break up with Texas. Lived there for like 15 years or something like that. Missed a lot of Christmases up here. Had a lot of different jobs. I've worked in international education. I was a wine buyer. Worked at a bookstore. Did all kinds of stuff. And now I'm back up in Auburn, New York with the fam, getting some critical family time in. I don't know if this was the inspiration to kind of consider this. It just happens to be the right time to do it. But yeah, where did post high school? Where did it take you? I know you went to Oswego.
Yes, I went to SUNY Oswego, that's State University of New York, College at Oswego. Nice long name. For those that don't know, it's basically just state school in New York. Very close.
Now a state university.
Now a state university, just recently made, within the last couple of weeks. Now a
Dude,
state
that degree
university
just went up.
Yep.
Like $50 in value.
Talk about inflation, baby. What's up? My education. I literally feel smarter. I feel slightly smarter. Not far from Auburn, as was Colgate. This was maybe 45 minutes to an hour north on Lake Ontario. Had some rocky waters with college. I failed out, went to community college, went back to Oswego, failed out, went to community college, went back to Oswego. Didn't graduate and missed a class and then got my degree like 7 years later. But enough of that.
Yeah, I don't know if I knew the whole math on that.
No, you don't. You don't. So
a lot of guys go to college for 7 years.
Yeah, they're called doctors. But after college, I moved back to Auburn for a few years. So I was there. Maddie was not. Worked at a hotel. Then got bored with that and actually looks like, according to Facebook, 13 years ago today, I announced to the world that I put in my 2-week notice at the hotel and moved down to North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, Facebook.
I moved to North Carolina. Basically, that was like a 10-month hangout vacation where I worked as a assistant manager of a Sbarro pizzeria.
No shit.
Yep. And then when that gravy train ran out, I moved back to New York, then over to Buffalo, where I got a job at Geico from another friend who basically just said, hey, Geico's hired. I'm like, yeah, all right, works for me. So that got me into the world of insurance in 2010, and I literally still work in insurance now as a trainer. But my ventures, I took a job promotion in New Jersey about 4 years ago, so now I'm living right outside of Philadelphia. Been here for 4.5 years, and yeah, so that brings us to now.
So yeah, we're still not close to each other.
Nope.
Really. I guess relative to the Earth, we're close.
Not bad. Not
just
bad.
really a few hours drive. Ultimately.
Yeah, it's about. Oh boy, I was going to talk in like northeastern. So it's about a 4.5 hour drive with no weather or traffic issues. What distance that means? I think about 300 miles.
Yeah, but here we are. I don't know how you came up with it. I mean, why you thought of this, or just wanted a podcast.
Yeah, I like talking about things, as we had discussed. Matt and
that
I
was our first meeting. We just like a lot of different things.
We know a lot of small stuff about many things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just wanted to. I needed an outlet. I work from home, so I wanted more of a creative outlet that gave me something to do. And kind of going through it in my head, I knew that I didn't want a one-man show. I did want to do a podcast with someone else, and knowing him, and unless there was some sort of drastic change in things, I knew that Matt was going to be the guy that would be able to, want to do something on the fly with me not having to give a bunch of reasons, thus us being able to put this together literally in less than a week.
I'm a pushover.
And because I know he has experience in broadcasting, doing this stuff as a passion as opposed to any type of profession. So I knew that he would have
Never made a dime.
never. I knew that he'd be a sucker enough to buy into this gig and try to do something. So yeah, I just said, why fight it? Let me go with him. And then only after we first started talking about what we could do did it unravel of realizing like, hey, we did have a meeting as if we talked to each other all the time. There was no catching up really, because that's not really what we do per se, because it's not sit down and have a cup of coffee and catch up. But he brought
Coffee and catch up.
Oh, man, zany.
Oh, man. Oh, maybe that's coffee and ketchup.
Coffee,
Print it. T-shirts. Let's go.
ketchup.
Stop the presses. We got new T-shirts.
Oh, God, not another $1,000 wasted.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we just kind of figured the fact that we are doing this with not really having seen each other or really been that best friend label in the last 20 years, but it's always kind of been that discussion. If anyone ever asked if it came up or something, I'm like, well, yeah, my best friend growing up, Matt, like it still never lost that momentum. And people are like, oh, never really talk about him. I'm like, well, yeah, I don't know anything that's happened to him in the last 20 years. What do you mean? What's there to talk about? I can't just talk.
Dude. What's wrong with me? I'm so bad at being a friend.
Yeah, same. And when you put these two people together, the worst part is that absolutely nothing gets done over 20 years. The best part is that we both acknowledge we're that guy, and we both acknowledge that guy's that guy. So no one cares. Like there's zero problems with it. So that's why we're able to bounce in and hopefully, get something hilarious and, eventful and useful and really, have a chance to reconnect and catch up.
I have a similar, that's kind of mirrors a relationship that I have in a way with like friends from Austin. I got my best friend, Brett from Austin there. We kind of reach this agreement that in terms of gifts, Christmas, birthday, the gift to each other that we give is we don't buy each other presents, so we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to think about it. It's like we're both on the same level of understanding, and that way we don't get stressed out about it. Don't worry about it. But to get older, it's like, hey, we should catch up. Not a great communicator myself. I talk to my parents, whoever's closest to me. I feel like folks who initiate conversations, I'll get in on it, but then it dies off. I don't know why it's terrible. I mean, I have college friends that I don't talk to, and it's always it's a perpetual New Year's resolution to like reconnect. With relationships, stuff like that. And it takes me a whole year to fail every year. I never get it done. But man, I'm pumped. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about me that you don't know, a lot of stuff about you I don't know. And, part of it's like, maybe this won't work. I mean, it'll evolve over time, the podcast and the segments.
Yep.
Like, I think we'll still be friends after you find out some stuff. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're not the same guys we were when we were 18, 20, 22, but that can be a good thing. And see how we've changed over time. And take that step, cross that hurdle, across the pond.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever, I forgot which one it is. And
hurdle that pond, man. Hurdle that pond.
Dude, hurdle the pond. But yeah, this is kind of the teaser ep. That's kind of the thesis of the pod. That's what's going to get us going. Bad communication and estranged friendships. Take two.
Absolutely.
Basically.
This one's going to be labeled Pilot, probably.
Pilot, yeah.
Yeah, because
we got a title for the first episode. It's called Pilot.
Yeah.
Came up with that. I don't know. Maybe it'll be. My hope is that number one, I mean, it's good for our relationship, but maybe two, somebody else gets something out of it, too, and maybe you can pump people up. Write us in. Hey, everybody in chat and comments. Everybody in the comments, let us know about a friend that you're really want to connect with, and we'll call them. We will.
Yeah, we will.
What if we reach out? What if we do that? Like reach out to people as their intermediaries to be like, hey, like Jessica hasn't seen you in like 15 years. She's real bummed about it. And she wants to reach out to you and return your ring.
Wow. Yeah.
Get a really loaded one.
Right. Let's start it off hot. Let's come in hot so that makes everyone else feel comfortable. Some people are like, well, at least we're not like those people. But yeah, I mean, that's really the goal here is I think we'll get something out of it, certainly on a personal level. But, the idea of podcasting it, it's a great feeling to think that maybe someone is inspired to reconnect, and either people that have always wanted to, and this pushes them, kind of go over that line and do it, or makes people think about doing it and makes people think back to people who lost relationships. Because obviously we always know that too. The certain regret that all of us have is when someone passes away or anything bad happens, people always go like, why did I not reconnect? It's not to get dark and dreary on that, but it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. Definitely going to be, interesting for us and for you to experience with us. But if you get something else additional out of it, all the better. Throw again in the comments your thoughts on that.
Yeah, smash that comment button.
Right. Hit the like, share it with a friend, share it with an enemy. Really confuse them. Always
hear that, Mom? Share it with Jeff's mom.
Right.
Make sure you guys get this.
Lisa and Sharon going to be listening to Podden. I'm just going to have to fire it up for my mom.
Let's kind of wrap up with maybe two of the more current common maybe segments, topics. We talked about maybe you bring something, I'll bring something that maybe you might not know about me.
Okay.
It's gone on the last. Originally, I thought I was going to go heavy. I was going to go Grand Slam right off the bat, but I'm going to save it. I want to build up.
Sure.
I want to make sure we got a nice little crowd before I start dropping bombs. So let's start off easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. There's 3 things every year that I try. Every year I try it. I try and fail. I'll say that. 3 things every year that I try and fail, probably for the last 15 years consciously. One of those things is coffee. Every year. I hate coffee, dude. I can't drink it.
Wow.
I don't like it in my beer. I don't like the flavor of it in ice cream, in chocolate, in anything. But every year I will try it. I will try black coffee. I'll try it with cream in it or a little sugar. I just can't. I cannot acquire the taste for it. And I get caffeine in other forms. I'm a caffeine hound for sure, but I get it from like yerba mate teas or other kind of like tea related things. But I cannot for the life of me. And I wish I could, man. I wish I could, because like when I see people drink coffee, I get so jealous of them. Like oh, that must be the best feeling right now. You're gonna take just like the quickest shit. You're gonna be ready. Whereas I'm like, it's already noon. I don't even have the urge. It's like, God, I wish I was a coffee drinker. I like really miss out because I can tell how delicious it is for people in the morning and how much it gets them going. I'm like missing out. So I try every year to be like, this is the year I'm going to like it. And, because kind of in a way that like,
okay.
I feel like at a certain age you get, like you just start liking tapioca pudding and raisins or something like that. You just hit a certain age.
Someday.
And I'm hoping I acquire that, The other thing is mushrooms. Not medicinal, recreational mushrooms, but just mushrooms for food. Every year I'll try one. And I cannot. It used to be a texture thing, and I'll try it. Like last year I tried it. Someone let me try her like a portobello burger, and I took a bite, and I gagged, and I almost puked, just because I don't know what it is about the taste. I just cannot acquire it.
So, all right. First off, it is not 1999 anymore. Like Portobello burger, like there are better non-meat burger options out there.
Yeah.
Like we
also
have
better mushrooms, I think, from what I hear.
Absolutely. That's my thought process on it. I have a couple friends that manage to function very well in life, and then tell me like after hanging out with 2 hours, they're like, "Oh, by the way, I'm tripping mushrooms. I'm tripping on shrooms right now." I'm like, "You're doing a great job." I'm like, well, I wonder what it's like inside your head, but but 2. Is that when you tell people you don't like mushrooms, they go like, "Oh, you can't even taste it." Then what are we doing here as a society?
Don't put it in there.
Society, why are we paying for that as a topping? Why are we buying it at the store? Why are we picking? I don't know. Do you pick out the good mushrooms? Like they look like shit covered, like trash. So like, how do you pick a good mushroom at the store, and then when you bring it back and you chop it and you put it in stuff, and then you tell your advertisement to someone is you can't taste it? Then stop doing it. Stop wasting your money. Stop wasting your efforts.
There's a buddy I have at work who is, his passion is mushrooms, and chef. He's actually got, it's called fork to Sport to Fork. Got it. Nailed it. Free plug.
Join us for The Last of Us. We'll be reviewing this last episode of The Last of Us.
Yeah. And he's very passionate about it, and he's so passionate about it. And I see his like Instagram and his pictures and the dishes he makes. They look so good. I want to try them, but I haven't had the heart to tell him that I don't like mushrooms yet.
Wait, you've been telling him you want to try them?
Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, I'll bring you in these like lion's mane mushrooms and stuff.
Well,
and
you deserve
try them. I'm like, yeah, definitely. Let's do that. Cause
you deserve this.
Like, I want him to be my friend so much, and I appreciate what he does so much that like if he ever invites me over for dinner, I'll have to fake it. I'll have to be like,
oh my God.
Or maybe it'll be this year that I try mushrooms, and I have to eat it without throwing up.
Wow. I
have tried lately like lion's mane, and they have like this tincture. It's one of those like probably herbal medicine things.
Mm-hmm.
I try. It's supposed to have a bunch of health benefits. I don't know. It could be a placebo, but it's working for me. Like, what's wrong with a good placebo? You know. But it does have like a very earthy flavor to it. So I'm like, through doing that, I think I'm starting to acquire maybe a taste for some like wild mushrooms. We'll see. 2023 is going to be a good year for my palate and mushrooms. And the third thing that I earnestly try every year, and that's not a joke, I will sit there for 2 to 3 minutes and try my hardest to use the Force. Just to know. I mean, I don't think I'll be able to, but I really like, there's 1% of my brain that thinks if I sit there and look at my light, I'll be able to turn it off. Like if I try really hard, because I don't think enough of us try that hard to use it to, affect the midi-chlorians around us.
Correct.
That bind us and bring us life.
I will agree that certainly the general population, I don't think, even if they kid about using the Force or they try using the Force, I don't think no one sits there and like shuts off everything else around them. And right, I'm not a weirdo.
It's reasonable. I would say it's a reasonable amount of time.
I don't lock myself in in my room for like the weekend and be like, all right, mom, dad, I got some food. It's Force weekend. You know what that means? Do not disturb for 48 hours. But yeah, man. I mean, the best part of it now is that you have enough resources, and I don't know how light I use that term, but you have enough out-of-box thinking shows that have rekindled the concept that it's like, well, if you break down like quantum physics and like you could get Neil deGrasse Tyson to probably give you way more hope than you should have about being able to use the Force. He'd be like, well, given if the right situation presented itself, and you're just like, that's all I need to hear, Neil.
Yeah. I don't know if it's magnets or wind or pressure, but like there's implants now people have in their brains that allow them to see things that even though they're blind, it just sends information to their brain. So why can't my brain send out information into the earth, into matter, into the ether, Right.
Everything.
I believe it can be done. And I tell you, 2023, I will try again.
Everything works on some...
Maybe I need to try more. Maybe I do need to lock myself away for a weekend. Sensory deprivation chamber or something, lock myself away.
Yeah, people are doing those ayahuasca, retreats. Maybe you need like a Force retreat for yourself.
Yeah, Force retreat.
Yeah.
Same amount of vomiting and diarrhea.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Like, let's be honest. It's the like Star Wars glorified it, but they don't show you like the tough parts about learning to use the Force. And I'm not talking about Dagobah trying. Like that's the thing.
It's a shit planet. It's literally a toilet.
Yeah, that's why.
It's a sewer. Yeah. It's a sewer planet.
That's the aftermath of so many Jedi trying to use the Force. It's just covered in feces.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
Well, that's I would say it's a light. It's a nice little cherry on top of what's going on here. It's just I think 3 little things.
Okay.
That are make me today. Mm-hmm. We'll unravel. Okay. Let's pull this thread. Start pulling this thread.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there.
I mean, I'm kind of in the same. I tried disc golf.
Yeah, dude.
So that's gotta be that's a bit on the sign. Like, right. So like, All right, so I started playing disc golf. Auburn has a very nice course down by the lake.
Do you have clubs? Do you have official disc golf discs
Yeah.
like the a driver putter?
Did you
got
not
all
know what
the
a
wedge-
disc golf utensil was? You're just like, what is that?
No, no.
Was it a disc golf club?
No, I know. Yeah.
No, it's a disc.
Yeah.
I do. I own my own discs. Now,
Dude, hell yeah.
Now that being said, it is a game. I'm trying to compare it to something else, but it's a game that I really enjoy playing, but I have not gotten any better at it. Like I maxed out probably within the first 3 weeks of playing, and I have not improved my play. Now, granted, it's hard to find time, and it's a little weird playing by yourself, but I have done it. I played in Auburn when I moved to North Carolina. North Carolina had a lot of courses. What's nice is that if you're on a budget, you own your discs, but then most courses are free.
Yeah, just public. You can walk around.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of them are perfectly fine, or at least I've never been stopped with, load up a backpack, had some beers in it.
Some like disc golf bags are designed to have like
absolutely,
a six-pack
and
in
no
them,
one
aren't they?
says anything. You can.
Yeah.
No one has ever told me or given me even a sour look about drinking. But yeah, it's a sport for the sportless man. I've never been someone to be, what would be considered an athlete. But it was something really enjoyable that I even recently started doing it. I found a course that's only a few miles from my house and have gone a couple times. Went back to the old method of I've lost discs in the water and in the high grass.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean,
It's an investment.
It is because you want to know what? I also play regular golf just as frequent, more poorly than disc golf. And disc golf doesn't give me the anxiety that golf does. The problem with golf is that someone's always behind me and they're waiting and I suck. And I sucked when they weren't waiting, but then the anxiety of making them wait makes me play worse. But you also can't bail. Like, I can't run away into like the rough and just disappear, but I also can't like pick up my ball because I'm frustrated and just like walk to the hole and put I can't finish the hole any quicker. So like it's terrible.
I love golf. I'm big golfer.
I want to be good at golf, and I'll go to Top Golf because Top Golf's different. I don't have to. People aren't waiting for me, so I can actually enjoy myself at Top Golf. But regular golf,
way less pressure because of how much money you have to pay to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's substantially more expensive.
$60 an hour.
I get less.
$12 a
I
beer.
get less out of it.
Yeah, that's where the anxiety comes in. What's the bill going to be at the end of this? That's all you're thinking.
That's very right. Yeah, the only person creeping up behind me is the guy with the bill. But yeah, man, golf. For a kid who never, really got past Mario Golf on N64. I picked up disc version and regular version. Well, I always was a big mini golf fan, but the buck stopped there until I picked up disc golf and disc golf. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I've dabbled in disc golf.
I want to be better at golf.
I played regular golf.
I want to be
regular
better.
golf. I played by myself for sure. Don't mind it. Just a way to get out there. I just consider honestly a long walk, just hitting something along the way. I think I've played enough now where I don't mind being bad, and I can hit good shots here and there. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I have the rapport a little bit, or I can say some kind of cheeky golf phrase if I shank one and go.
Sure.
Oh, looks like I found that one up in the middle of the fairway. All right, I'm gonna see you later. Well, just draw. Yeah, I'm comfortable just tossing it out there. We call it with my friends and in Texas, we call it a soul golf shot. Instead of a mulligan, we call it because I feel like we're hitting from our soul. It's like the ball should have been up here. If I really think about it, my feelings say it should have been up here. So as we're driving the car, wherever you toss it and it lands, you get to play from there. It's like that's where it was meant to be.
See, I am doing it wrong.
Yeah,
that's silly.
Yeah, man. I've spent the winters are tough getting used to those again in upstate New York, but I have been dabbling in a little bit of Wii golf. Switch golf. Come on, I don't play Wii anymore. Are you kidding me? I barely even see it from over here. Switch, Mario Golf. I'm just getting in form, getting ready for the spring here, getting the swing down. So I'm ready. We'll have to golf. How about that?
Absolutely. Well,
What if we hang out IRL? What if this goes so well that we decide to hang out in person?
folks, we don't know. I don't know.
Let's set goals.
I promise. I promise nothing.
Do we want to go there?
Those are lofty goals, but yeah, let's set that as the goal.
Yeah. After this first ep, there's gonna be a lot of demand for us to do a live show, probably somewhere.
Absolutely.
Probably start looking at some theaters or clubs in your town.
Looking at tours, stuff like that. It's.
So let us know in the comments below your favorite golf course in your town. Let us know.
Disc or traditional? Are we going to call it traditional golf? I don't want to just call it golf. That's not fair to disc golf.
Yeah, I'd love to actually. I've played disc golf when I was in college. My buddy Tozer and I used just like 150 or whatever, 55 milligram, like regular ultimate discs.
Sure, that's a terrible idea. Yep.
But we just went around the actual campus, like the quad and stuff, where we would just pick monuments and trees around campus and just chuck the frisbee at it and just play that way. But then in Austin, there were some really nice courses. But I'm down, man. I'd love to go with you.
Yeah, dude.
And use some official discs.
Yeah, what's nice about New Jersey is we still experience winter, but like a snowy winter is like a total of 2 feet of snow for the season, not like the classic Central New York hitting triple-digit inches every season. So.
All right. Oh, what's that? What's that? The Drummel, you know what that means.
Oh, bow, 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 bow.
It's time for the first drum roll ever. Conversation dice. Let's get into this. This is a thing I've had. I got it at a bookstore that I worked. It's called Half Price Books. It's one of my favorite places in the world to work. We would like buy used media from the public, records, comics, board games, video games, books, and sell them back. And as long as it was in good enough condition, but for like way cheaper, or like collectible shit, nostalgia, signed editions. Very cool people, fun people that work there. But I ran the board game section, Hooyah, specialist. And this was in there. I probably had a lot of games from there. People wouldn't buy them, so we'd either trash them or I'd take some of the ones that I liked.
Did they start half priced?
Did what?
Wasn't it called Half Price Books?
Half Price Books, yeah.
So did everything start half priced?
Basically, so
that's a terrible business model. How does that profit?
Well, we buy it all used. We
from
buy it
who?
From the public. From people. People clean out their closets, their garages, all that stuff.
It's
actually started.
Like it's a reverse garage sale.
Kind of like. So we would buy, but it's like we pay like almost nothing. I mean, it's like a couple boxes of books we pay you like anywhere from 10 to 40% of what we're gonna sell it for. So if it's like a hot book, like let's say whatever the newest, Colleen Hoover book, whatever It Ends With Us type stuff comes out, and it's selling for like $26 in hardcover, we would sell it for like $13.
But you'd buy it from someone for like $2 or
$5 or $6 if it's hot. If it's not, we'd pay like 10 cents, whatever. So we buy it with the intention of selling it for half price. Because there'd be people that come in and be like, I can get more for this on eBay. It's like, that's right, you can.
Yep.
Well, you've come here. Yeah, we're the middleman in this. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, do that. Otherwise, you can sell. Here, we'll give you cash right now. You don't have to do anything. We'll take your boxes. We'll take even your trash and deal with it.
In today's day and age, the good news is people are getting lazier and lazier, and they're like, I don't want to do things.
Yeah. No, basically, yeah. People will bring in just scores of boxes, like cleaning out their closet or somebody died, they bring it in. I mean, we'd have to be like,
they
like
bring
cat
in the dead
piss,
person?
roaches, scorpions in these boxes. Like, it'd be pretty gnarly. But we would also get rid of it all, recycle it or trash whatever they didn't want.
Half-price scorpions, baby.
Yeah. But that's where I got this. Nobody bought this conversation dice. I always thought it was cute. But it's a bunch of cubes with words on it. Like this one says...
Something.
What does it say? Something. Heart. That's cute. Soul. Well, these are kind of related, aren't they? Human nature. Body. Oh, this one's kind of on the nose for all that stuff. But it's a game. It's really just like, it could be a drinking game, could be an icebreaker game. But I like the randomness of it. So what I'm going to do, with every episode we do this, roll out a few of these. We'll say the 3 words and see if it inspires us. Maybe a story from our past, something in the last 20 years. Maybe something we connected on. Maybe just some random thought. We'll go. All right. I don't know if a pink one counts. I think it does. So I've got. I know that's a pink one is an action. I don't know why we have to do another action besides just looking at the regular dice. All right. I've got, oh man, score. Sadness is one word.
Sadness, good start. Yeah. Lighten the mood.
Someday.
Mm-hmm.
And war. What the fuck?
Wow.
War, sadness, someday war.
What a
Here we go.
Depressing concept.
We'd like to announce World War III.
Well, what
someday.
What is that clock? The doomsday clock just got updated.
Yeah, what are we at? 11:59, 59 seconds? 90 seconds away?
We're 90 seconds away. We were last updated 3 years ago, 4 years ago to 100 seconds. So, yeah.
I mean, the Earth will always take care of itself. I mean, people won't be around for it forever, but the Earth will be okay at some point. Like styrofoam takes 10,000 years to biodegrade. It's like, that's nothing in terms of the Earth.
We deserve doomsday because we're the ones coming up with the concept of doomsday, and all doomsday is is like society failing. So
right.
It's not really fair to say it's for the Earth because, like, the blue whales are fine. They're going to be fine. Blue whales are laughing at us constantly. Like, there's no doomsday for them. That clock is at 12:01 for them.
Have you ever considered the Earth exploding in a particular moment at all? Like, this is it? Like, it's going to explode from the core? I saw something in the news the other day, and it made me think about it, how, like, the core of the Earth is kind of stopped spinning inside the way it was, and it may start spinning the other way, and I was like, is that going to explode?
Right. The best part is
that's kind of like lazy news.
I read something about that said that happened, but then didn't elaborate on it. I'm like, well, that sounds like something should change, right?
Like a big deal.
Yeah. Do I start walking backwards now against my will? Like, I don't know what that means, but right. It seems like that is bad, I would think. Mm-hmm. But I can't tell you why it's bad. I need a geologist. Would geologists help me with that? I don't know who.
I feel like there was no expert. There was no expert to talk about that.
So it was on.
It's got football playoffs right now.
It was on BuzzFeed.
There's a lot of important stuff going on right now.
Skip Bayless told me that the Earth's core started spinning the other way, and I don't know. I don't know if that helps San Francisco cover the spread or.
War. Yeah. I mean, I don't know shit about war except it seems terrible. I can say this. Okay, this will make me think of this. When I did my study abroad in Russia, I did see, I think they basically, and you can see this now in the real world that's happening in Ukraine, is that they basically have like 18-year-old kids, like just teenagers, soldiers, obviously. And you walk around and you see these kids. I was walking to a class there. And at one time, there was just these guys, I mean, they're in these uniforms just laughing, smoking cigarettes, just like super skinny, shirt barely tucked in. He turned around, he had his AK-47 and pointed it at me. And it was like just a second.
Is this Moscow or Vladimir?
This was, it was in, Vladimir. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So the first spot I went, good recall. Holy shit,
right, dude? I don't ask
dude,
some of that
what
stuff.
What the hell? How do you even know that? Wow, good for you. So yeah, the first city I went to was Vladimir, and it was like an old principality, and it was kind of where we did our English study. But I was walking to that school and turned around. I looked down the barrel of it. He didn't mean to. He just was like being really like nonchalant with an AK-47 and turned around, and for a second there was sadness, and I thought someday I'll be dead, and it's right now. Oh my god, this is terrifying. This is like, I've never ever done that. It was like the scariest thing I've ever seen. Even when I went to, like, it gave me, it's so dumb to say, but it's like just seeing that just like tainted me on guns, which how like casual he was with it. And like, not that he was intended, but it's like he just kind of like swinging around, just like holding like a guitar, basically, like doing that, and it just came around the corner, and there it was just like lined up at me, and I was like, this is it, this is the end. My mom's not gonna know. My body's gonna be eaten for sure. Delicious. But then moved to Texas, shot some guns, and it was pretty fun after that.
It's not bad. Yeah, man.
Target shooting is fun. I do enjoy guns and firing them. It feels very powerful, like just like an extra human sense. I loved it. We did go hunting, and I couldn't kill a deer. And I was like, not even like, I felt bad. It's just like, who wants to do the work of like field dressing that and all that? I was like, not for me,
Yeah. Yeah,
It's already ready to go. Ready to go at the grocery
I'm okay.
store.
I'm okay with hunting. I think in general, the people I know that hunt and eat what they kill. I'm okay with that. I don't want to do it.
We all know somebody with half a deer in their freezer that we could probably buy it from.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I was raised with it not mattering to me because of my grandpa. My grandpa was a big hunter. But yeah, man, as far as like the war and stuff goes, like the war in Ukraine, like I feel like every time I read something, depending on the time of day and whatever, it's like the article's like, yeah, dude, Russia's got nothing. Next article's like, yo, Russia's about to F everything up. I'm like, well, I'm like, I know that there are different, I know politics plays a role in everything, but it's like, can someone give me objective information as to like how much I should be concerned about this? But then I always stop and think, I go, but what am I going to do one way or the other? I'm the best thing I can do is keep going about what I'm doing and focus on things that I do have an effect on in my life and not try to invest too much in what ifs. Because I have a problem with that enough. I have enough anxieties for stuff. So yeah, with war and stuff, you know, a part of me always goes like, well, you know what? If everything crippled down, obviously this came up in COVID too. It's like, you know, if everything crippled down, like then we're all on a level playing field. And I'm like, that'd be kind of interesting to start society all over again.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
like,
the Earth takes care of itself. The Earth will
yeah,
be fine.
again. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. To be honest with you, the element always comes back to, it'll figure itself out.
What can we do besides podcast about it? You know, we're doing our part.
Exactly.
We're bringing.
If you have an idea of what we can do about it, go ahead and throw it in the
you guys
comments.
Throw it in the comments.
Throw it in the comments. Let me know what we can do about it.
Yeah, we'll have to make it. Our third shirt's gonna be called the comment section.
If you know Vladimir Putin, and you can get him on the podcast, we'll call him up. We'll talk to him. Matt knows some Russian.
You know, it's really fucked up. Just because I know, like, he's in bad health now. Basically,
Putin?
he's like shitting himself all the time, or like
he's not shirtless. You know, he's not shirtless riding bears.
No, he's shitless and not wearing pants.
Classic.
But it reminded me, like when I was, you know, what's really messed up? They have Lenin's tomb. I just thought of this when I was thinking of Putin almost dying. And you walk through this building. It's in Red Square, and you just walk by his body. It's like been embalmed for decades and decades, and they just preserve it. And they like put, I don't know what they put on it, clay or makeup, but you just walk by Vladimir Lenin's body in like the darkness, but it's just under a little bit of light. It's like the creepiest shit I've ever seen.
It's the actual body. It's not like a casket.
No, it's real. It's legit. I don't know if I can find it here, but
wow, what?
I mean, it was kind of like.
Do people like not you, but do people like pray to it? Do people stop and talk to it? Like I don't know. Like,
well, it's like you're not close enough necessarily to it.
Oh, see, now what's weird is that you're talking about it. I figure like it's not just like
you're like 10 feet away, 15 away. You walk through like you'd be walking through like a Disneyland, like you're going through like a haunted mansion or something like that.
Like that's their Hall of Presidents.
Yeah. So here's the.
That makes sense.
I don't know if I can hear. I'm gonna pull this. I just want to. Maybe I can share this. Let's use our new technology. Let me share the screen for you. Passes it to the man.
And boom goes dynamite.
So this is the tomb itself. You kind of walk into this little structure here.
Sure. And
then you go in, you walk by, and it's literally in this thing. It's kind of dark all around it, except for you see this. And like some people say it's fake. I'm like, what? How could that be fake? You can't put a fake body inside of a tomb. You just can't. You can't shave anybody's body bald. And
we should
put
do that with more people. I think we should do it. Not with like political people, because that's too that's too messy. But like Betty White,
like
I
just
think
regular folk.
Yeah, people would appreciate if like Betty White was available to like be like, hey, like
how do you
know,
do that?
loved celebrities.
Maybe
that would help people get in a better mood, and there'd be less war and sadness.
There it is. Oh, boom! There it is. I like it. That's a great wrap up.
Yeah.
Stuff Betty White, end all wars.
Absolutely, done deal.
Great. All right, pilot done. Here we go.
Crushed
Let's
it,
see where
man.
this journey takes us. I think next time, more segments, more hot, current political news talk. You know, this is the best place for it. And,
absolutely.
And I think maybe we delve into some hot gaming tips. All right, guys.
Got a ton of them.
Next week we'll start off. Let's maybe get into our history with some gaming. We're going to be some hot Super Nintendo tips. Maybe we'll teach people how to turn their Duo 2-controller SNES into a 4-player controller SNES.
It's possible.
It is possible through the magic of Blockbuster Video or Video Factory, whatever you got in your town right now. Mm-hmm. We'll teach you that. But appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in to Strangely Familiar, or whatever it's going to be called.
This is called, but that may be it.
And we'll work on kind of an outro. Right now, I think we'll just cut it off here. Actually, how about this? You know what? Here, this is you guys in the comments.
Yes, we did it,
dude! I can't wait. To throw more. So they're gonna. You guys, seriously, shut up. Seriously, just stop. There it is. All right.
Nice.
All right, bud. Here we go. We'll throw this out. Maybe we're thinking weekly. We'll try. We're busy men with
Absolutely.
No families and a lot of disposable income. So it's
income, time, whatever.
Yeah, and we're not at war. So appreciate it, y'all. Have a great day. Thanks. Peace.
Good.
Bye.